Okay, what we're going to do now is we are going to go through kind of a little walkthrough for lesson 2. Okay, so the SketchUp exploration day 2. As everything, just kind of check things as you get through them, right? And do that. This one says follow the directions in the order in which they're written. Check off the boxes as you accomplish the task. Remember the single thing, right? That looks like an apostrophe stands for feet. And the double one, which looks like a quotation, stands for inches, all right? So the first thing I got to do, and this is good for you guys, is I got to change my measurements because I'm pretty sure my measurements are in millimeters. So let's see if they are. So yeah, they are. So what I got to do is I got to change my measurements so that they are in architectural, which is feet and inches, all right? So I'm going to go to my app settings. You may not have to do this because it might not be set for that. You go to, if you hit reset, the default is the architectural, all right? And so when you hit that, what's going to happen is you're going to go, okay, good, I reset it, and then you're going to go to make something, right? And then look what happens. You're still in millimeters. So what you got to do is you have to actually reload the page, all right? And you could also close the app and restart it, all right? Both will work. But if I reload the page and I go through the usual sign-in rigmarole, sometimes, I swear it's different every time. But you get yourself all signed in. It says, would you like to open it? No, because I want something new, right? We're going to go to create new. Okay. And then now when we make something, it's in feet and inches. See, and that's kind of what we want, all right? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna click something crazy, and then I'm gonna get rid of it, and we're gonna look at what sizes we need. So it says in your Chromebook, open up SketchUp, select create new. We did this, and we have what they say we should be seeing, which is the lady, and we're gonna work on the ground between the green and the red axes. So we are gonna be working right on this area right here. Okay, so between here and the ground, it's kind of like if you rotate. So if you use this tool right here, click on it. And then when you push the button down, move your finger on the trackpad to the right, and it rotates you to the right. And then when you go up, it rotates you up. If you go down, it rotates you down. And so you can see here that this is kind of like the ground where we want to work. Okay, so let's see what we got to do. It says starting at the origin, so where the 3 lines meet, create a square that has a side length of 4 inches or 4 feet. So, and then it says to do this, start your square and then type in the dimension bar 4 feet, comma 4 feet. You have to have the comma between the dimensions. The first dimension is along the red, and the second is along the green. And so what that means, right, is we're going to go here. We're going to grab our rectangle tool, right? You click first, and then you start pulling it out, right? Oh, is it doing that weird thing where it's putting me up here? Yeah. That's okay. Just hang on a second. I will fix that. So now let's try it. It does this sometimes. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to go this way, right? And so I'm going to type in, and what you do is once you know how you're pulling it, right? You don't click again. You just take your finger off the trackpad. I hit 4, and then I hit my apostrophe, I hit comma, I hit another 4, and I hit another apostrophe, and then hit enter. When you do that, you get this lovely shape, right? And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my my orbit tool. I'm going to turn just a little bit, and I'm going to take the select tool. And the reason I'm taking the select tool is it wants me to copy and paste this 5 more times so I get something that looks like this. So I get a 3x2 grid, all right? So in order to do that, all right, I got my select tool. We're gonna select this, all right? And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hit Control C, and then Control C, what that does is that puts it on my clipboard. And now when I hit Control V, that means I'm gonna paste it. And so when I first hit it, all right, I just hit it. You can't tell I hit it, but as soon as I move my cursor, oh, look at that. It's got the move button and it's got that thing there. And then you take it and you kind of slot it right into the next one. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Control V, start moving it. It has another one on there. Click it, let's go up here, Control V, start moving it, bring it in, click it, Control V, bring it in, click it, Control V, bring it in, and click it. And if you do it in that order, that way they will line up and you will have absolutely no problems with these. Now, if you don't, then that's when you're going to run into problems. But what you can do is you can look at this and you can even, rotate around this and see that, no, they are all lined up, right? There's, none are bigger than the other or sticking out weird or anything like that. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to use the push-pull and the dimension bar with that to make a pattern that looks like this. All right, so this one, and I'm boiling this down so it's quicker. We're gonna go 6 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet, 1 feet. All right, so let's do that. So let's start with this back one. It's usually easier to start with the tallest one because you can go in front of a taller one. It's harder to do that with another one. So then let's click on Select Tool, just clear everything out. Click on your push-pull, make sure you have it, and then make sure the arrow is in the box you want. And so I click on it, and it's doing this weird thing where I don't want to be in this one, right? I don't know why it's doing that. That's bizarre. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go undo. All right, that'll be good. All right, like I said, that undo button's great. All right, click on it, start moving it up, and then in the dimension bar, type in 6, your apostrophe, and enter. And then we're going to do the same thing next to it, except we're going to go 5. So click on it, hit 5, apostrophe, enter, click, hit 4, apostrophe, enter. Remember, apostrophe stands for feet. In front of it, click 3, apostrophe, enter. And you got to get started each time. So click on it, start moving it, stop, hit 2, apostrophe, enter. And then this one, you only move it a little bit because it's only going up a foot. And you go like this. All right, and then you have your thing, right? Your little stairway, so to speak. Okay, so good. We're doing great. All right, and then it says using the line tool, locate the midpoint of the top left side of the bottom block. Draw a line from there to the midpoint of the other side. You may have to use the orbit tool to move your view so you can see the whole top face of the block. Draw another line connecting the midpoints at the top front edge of the back block with the back edge. Then use your eraser tool to erase 2 of the lines so it looks like this. So basically what we're doing is we're sectioning these into 4, and then we're just going to leave it so that we only see one square, and that's the square in the front. And we're going to have them so they look kind of like this, right? So they come down, look like this. So these will be in front right here, and then these will be right here. So when we do this, okay, so I'm going to grab my orbit tool. Okay, and I'm going to turn it so that I can actually get to all the edges here. Okay, so now you grab your pen tool, you click here on the corner, and you move it till you get that blue that says midpoint. Click on it, and then start moving it. You move it across the other one. Boom. That red means that you're lined up with this axis, right? And then you just do the same thing here. Click on midpoint. Go over here, click in, and you can actually stop right here. You don't even have to go across, right? And go there, and let's do that same thing just on all of these to get the hang of it. Midpoint to midpoint, on your midpoint, midpoint, midpoint to your midpoint. We can do this top one, and then we're going to have to rotate a little bit. Midpoint to midpoint. So now I'm going to rotate a little so I can see these 2 block a little better. Switch back to the pencil tool. Midpoint. Click and click. Click and click. And then click and click. All right, now what we want to do is we're going to use the push tool, pull tool eventually to move these. But before we do that, let's use the eraser and get rid of the ones we don't want. So the ones we don't want are like this one and this one. Oops. So when you erase more than what you want, you just hit that undo button. All right. Lord knows I make tons of mistakes. on this. But that's all right. You're going to make mistakes because that's how you learn. So let's keep going here. We're almost done. And we've got this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use push-pull tool, right? And we're going to move these down and we're going to make them 6 inches lower than the rest. Now you may be thinking, well, the height of the block is this. That means no, you don't need to do any of that. Don't make this any higher than it needs to be, because I'll show you why. So if you grab the push-pull tool, you click on this, right? You just start moving it down, and that's the distance down that it's moved. So just type in 6, hit the quote mark, which is shift, and above the apostrophe, hit enter, and it moves it for you. Do the same thing here. Click on it, start moving it down, hit 6, shift, and the quotation mark, hit enter, and then just keep doing that until you're finished, and you'll finish. And it goes really quick, right? 6, 6. I think I overshot that one, but then you'll see it move up. See that? That's pretty cool. Let's say I completely overgo it, right? It says offset limited to 1. Okay, well, let's say I do the 1 foot. When you put this in, it still puts you where you're supposed to be. All right, so that gets you there. And then now the last thing, one of the last things we got to do is we got to take the eraser tool and remove the vertical lines between the blocks around the entire shape. You're going to have to orbit to do it. And then this is what it looks like when you're finished, right? So let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to take my eraser tool here. I'm going to go boom, boom. This one right here, boom, boom. Now grab the orbit, and it doesn't matter which way you go first. All right, so let's go this way, because I usually go the other way. So let's go this way just to be weird. So grab this, come over here, get rid of this. Grab the orbit tool again. Boom, let's go around. Let's go around this way so we can hit them all without having to move again. So let's get rid of this one. This one. Oops, you got to be on the line first. Simon's. All right, and this one. And then you're kind of done, right? You're basically done what we're asking you to do. And now the only thing you got to really do here is just figure out how to sort of save it. And so all you got to do to save it is you click on save like this. And then for me, it gives me the options of where to save it. And it says my drive. I click on that. And then I am going to label it. What does it want me to call it? It wants me to call it Sketchup Exploration Day 2 Simon's. So I would go Sketchup Exploration Day 2. And then I'm going to put Simon's. And then I'm going to put demo, because this is for a demo, a demonstration. And then save here, and then it saves it with my drive, with everything else. And then the last thing you're going to do, okay, is you're going to share it, right? And I think you guys are pretty familiar with sharing it, right? So I think we're good with that. So that's the video. I hope this is helpful to you, and have fun with this. All right.